status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. The foundation leads the fight. The warriors lead the tribe. When the beat drops and the spirits rise, we find the truth behind the disguise. They want us to go away, only our hearts do we obey. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. No ranks, no chains, just unity. One tribe, one light, one destiny. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo. Oh, bucking the status quo. We gonna buck the status quo.
Hey, welcome back to everybody in IW Land and Grunt Style Foundation. I hope everybody is enjoying this wonderful Friday. Looking forward to a fantastic weekend. I'm so lucky today to be joined by Will Wisner, Executive Director, Grunt Style Foundation, as well as Bill Wilkie from Irreverent Warriors. And yeah, we're going to be talking about a lot of cool things today. We're going to be talking about the big GSF Nashville event that happened on Memorial Day weekend. Massive event and success there in Nashville. We're also going to talk about Bill with the Wilkie Promise and how the bond between two brothers and the promise between two brothers is spreading like wildfire throughout IW. And then we're also going to have Justin on from Grunt Style Foundation, who's going to discuss a little bit about the Sundance and the big integration retreat coming up on September 18th. And so we've got a lot to cover today. But first, I wanted to jump in and congratulate the IW chapters that have had recent successful hikes and large-scale events. So we've had, and I want to say congratulations and thank you from the leadership team and from the veteran community to Salt Lake City, the Fort Worth team, the Columbus team, the Philly team, the Wyoming team, the Massachusetts crew, Kansas City, which had a huge, wonderful, successful event there at the VFW headquarters of the entire VFW there in Kansas City. And Normandy, France hike was last weekend. And the special guest of honor, Carol, who is the first female commander ever of the VFW. And I know, Will, you know Carol.
Oh, she's great, man. I understood did she jump out of the plane?
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
You guys
she did all the things.
IW is just tearing it up globally right now. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, so they got to commemorate the Normandy landings there, and our IW leader, who's actually out of Paris, Corinne, she puts together this Normandy Silkies hike every year. It's fantastic success. So thank you so much to the VFW for supporting. Thank you to Carol for being the guest of honor. Everybody that attended it had a really good time. And then this weekend, we've got our big kayak, canoe, and raft adventure in the Ozarks that we'll talk about here in a minute. We've got actually Roy and the team that is down at the site, the campsite, Big Rock Candy Mountain in the Ozarks, and they're out there doing some recon, so we're going to check in with them live here in a minute. And we've also got this weekend, we've got our big Maine Silkies hike. If you're over on the East Coast, you've still got an opportunity to drive to Portland, Maine, so I'm looking forward to seeing you there. But without any further ado, I'd love to roll some footage and get into the Nashville Grunt Style Foundation event for Memorial Day.
It was fantastic.
Oh
man, the Nashville Palace. I mean, it's kind of a weird place to do a charitable benefit concert. Is a honky tonk in the middle of Nashville, but in a lot of ways it's pretty appropriate for us. And man, did we have a good time. It was, we had so many influencers, Janae, Sergio, our director of development and all things digital strategy. She brought together the super friends of influencers. As you can see on the party bus there, we've got probably 18. Everybody from Matt Murphy from the Fake and Gay podcast, and Tommy Nutzman from After the Uniform, and just a whole list of amazing people made the way out there. And there they are on the party bus going through Nashville, spreading the good word. And just was a good time. That was the night before. It's kind of a pre-night to build some excitement around the festivities on Memorial Day itself. And we had Savannah Ray. She's been partnered with us for some years. She is a tremendously talented country musician. And we also had the Velvet Rodeo. So here's our venue where we were at. We had a good time with an awful lot of people, raised a lot of awareness. You can see with some of the items that we had up for auction. All these things are super top shelf. We had everything from, you can see, a Pat Tillman signed jersey, the Miracle jersey from the 1982 Olympics, where the Miracle on Ice happened with the Team USA versus the Russians. Man, just an amazing event all around. Raised some good money for the foundation, but more importantly, even beyond raising the awareness of these alternative modalities, we were focusing on hyperbaric oxygen therapy that night. There's Tim and I coming out on the stage.
Look at Tim's jacket. Look at that.
Oh,
that is a hell of a jacket.
He was decked to the nines, man. There's Jalen. We had Jalen Garnett. We brought him out. He kicked off the entire concert with a prayer song.
The Lakota.
The
Lakota were there.
Yeah, we pulled all the stops out, man. So there we are promoting our integration event. So just a good event. But the most important thing that we did out of all of that, in my estimation, was these influencers that we brought in. And I'm old. I'm Gen X. I don't understand a whole lot of the old influencer rationale sometimes. Sure. It seems kind of silly to me. But after hanging out with these guys and seeing the impact and the way that our message spread through their networks, I'm a convert. I'm a believer now.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Good. Oh man, those outfits are phenomenal.
Oh,
Look
dude,
at
it was
that
a hell of a
outfit.
cut. These guys rock, man. They will melt your face. It's so good.
Wow, awesome. Well, we can't wait till next year. I mean, everybody is super excited, super pumped to hear about this, to see more, to hear more about how they can get involved with Grunt Style Foundation, especially for this Memorial Day experience. That
Oh,
you
hell
guys
yeah.
are
And we
putting
do
on.
these things all the time all over the place. And, you know, we had a good turnout from Irreverent Warriors, but we want a bigger turnout next year. We'll probably be back in Nashville, would be my guess, because it was a fun event to produce as well as to attend.
Yeah.
And I hope to see everybody that possibly can get to Nashville for next year's party to come on down, because, man, it's a party.
Yeah, it looks like it. Bill, are you going to go?
Yeah, I'm trying to make it.
Yeah.
You've got about 355 days or something like
we
that to
put it in
play.
the schedule.
Right on.
He'll be there. He'll be there.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that. I think we've got Roy live in the Ozarks. We're gonna bring him on, and he's gonna tell us what's going on. So we're gonna get him pulled up and hear all about the cool things they have planned at the kayak, canoe, and raft adventure in the Ozarks this weekend. I know that it's I think more than 7 miles that they're going to be doing down there.
Ooh, that's a healthy float.
Yeah, and we'll get him pulled up here in a minute. But we're working on that. You know, he's in the Roy. Hey, hey, Roy, are you ready? Put your hand in the air if you're ready. Yeah, he says he's ready.
He's good to go. Let's bring him up, and I'm going to jump out of the seat.
Okay, we got to get him up in front of the camera. Apparently, he's not in front of the camera.
Where am I at? Should be in front of the camera.
Oh, there he is. Okay, now he's ready. All right, now we can see him. Okay, yeah. All right, well, let's get it going. All right, hey, Roy.
Roy, you've lost so much weight that Dave couldn't even see you on the camera.
Yeah,
Man.
yeah.
You're looking so good.
Here, I can
You've
fill in
lost so
for
much
him.
weight, we can't even see you. What's going on? But yeah, tell us what's going on down there, Roy.
Welcome from Big Candy Rock Mountain. Big Rock Candy. I'm sorry, Big Rock Candy Mountain. Sorry, I've watched a few many cartoons with the kids over the years. We are coming at you live from Operation Ozarks 2026 with Team.
Hey, we got to get you closer to the phone. We can't hear you, brother. But yeah, I appreciate all this whole scenery with the sign and the dogs and all that stuff. That's great. Yeah. I mean, this is a real Ozarks adventure here with this crew that you've got down here. Yeah. So, how many people are signed up to come to the come to the canoe and kayak and raft adventure?
As of last night, we had 105 tickets sold.
Nice. That's
Nice.
that's a lot of folks out there on the river. And what do you got planned? Do you got any entertainment or anything planned?
Yeah, so tomorrow we've got a 7-mile float planned, and then tonight we have cornbread showing up, and a special DJ is going to show up as well. So we'll have music, both from DJ and from a new artist. Tomorrow we've got a 7-mile float scheduled. We're going to get on that hot and early. We're going to come home, or at least back to camp with some music with Blake Gardner and the Farmers, and an amazing dinner provided by one of the local restaurants, Aquita's.
Awesome. I know that when I leave the podcast studio, the whole crew here is headed down to Big Rock Candy Mountain in the Ozarks to meet up with you guys. Big shout out to Bill McKee there and Ryan Beatty. I know those guys have been doing a lot of the planning and helping out. Big shout out to our secret DJ there on the right. And thanks to everybody who's been supporting this event. I know that last year it was phenomenal. I can't wait to get in that crystal clear water again and do it again. Bill, what are you excited about with the float trip?
I think it's gonna be a little cooler this year than it was last year.
Yeah.
To be honest with you,
You have two bills here,
that's
man.
part
You
I'm
know
looking
that.
forward to. The relaxation part too. The paddleboard, I've never done one of those before, so I'm gonna try that out.
Tell me about your canoe skills this year versus last year.
Oh, last year it took us like 15 seconds to tip, maybe less.
Yeah, I mean, me and
I
you
mean, I
got
predicted
washed
it.
down the river like immediately.
Yeah, right after
Yeah.
Ryan called it out too, which made it even better.
Yeah.
I think Ryan manifested that.
He
I think
sure
Ryan
did.
manifested that.
It was
thank
pretty
you.
obvious as he sat down.
Thanks to all the guys. Hey, thank you everybody down there at the campsite. We will see you soon, and we will check in with you. So appreciate everything you're doing.
See you soon, guys.
Semper
All
Fi.
right. Go Army, beat Navy.
All right, so here we are back in the studio, and Bill, I wanted to get into a little bit of your story, your background. I know you've been in and around the IW community for 4 or 5 years now. You were the hike support coordinator from Milwaukee,
Yes.
back in the day, and your older brother was an instrumental member of IW and helping build it out to what it is today. He worked on the headquarters staff, and he also was a regional coordinator, and he was also a local coordinator. So he had his hands in a lot of different things at IW.
Wow.
And when he went into the VA, he had that stomach surgery and tragically ended up bleeding to death, and the whole community last year intimately felt that loss.
Yeah.
And we've been there with you, and you've been there with us through this whole grieving process. And I know that recently you have been public speaking at IW events,
Yes.
and the theme has been this promise that you and your brother had,
Yep.
that neither one of you would leave the other behind and take your own life.
Absolutely.
And, I've noticed that this promise has caught on like wildfire. I've been to numerous events where you've given this talk, and people are making the promise to you, they're making the promise to one another, and then we're already hearing how that promise is saving lives. So, I don't want to steal a lot of your thunder, but I did want to bring you on and have you tell us a little bit more about the background, like how you and your brother even got to that point.
Oh, well, first of all, thank you for having me. The background story is just it's a family that's had a lot of suicides. It was my dad's hero, our Uncle Jim, passed by suicide. My father, our brother Pat, our best friend Aaron, who was instrumental in getting my brother into the VA a few times, also died by suicide. And I think the one that stands out is our brother Pat.
Your oldest brother.
Yeah, our oldest brother Pat, which was 6 years after our dad passed away, and it was just real hard to take. We were driving around looking for a meeting, and it was in a commercial building, and we couldn't find the entrance.
What kind of meeting are
It
you?
was just a suicide support group kind of thing. We were looking for help.
Your dad dies by suicide, and he was a Green Beret. He was a veteran in Vietnam, right?
Yes.
And then
Army
your
Ranger, yeah.
yeah, and then your one of your best friends dies by suicide, who was in the Navy.
Yes.
And then your oldest brother dies by suicide, and then it's right after that. You guys are driving looking for a suicide support group.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we couldn't find it, and I was worried about my brother, so we just, for the time being, we made a promise to each other that we would never do that to each other.
In the car?
Yes, in the car. And he kept that promise. I don't want to say it like from that point he was working on it, but he was always working on it. And then he just turned it into a life decision, which ended up becoming the guiding light for a lot of people, because my brother had a really good skill of healing out loud. He didn't mind sharing the things that he was going through.
The vulnerability.
Yes, and it's you get a stigma when people talk about that, and I'm guilty myself. When we were growing up, and he would talk about that stuff all the time, I'd be like, well, why are you telling everybody all of this stuff all the time? And it wasn't until a year or two before he passed away that I started to see what it was doing. And even until he passed away, I didn't understand the true power of it until I started talking to the people that it was helping heal. So
I was one of those people.
yeah.
And he was sharing publicly the emotions, the regret, the shame, the lack of self-forgiveness. He was sharing these things on Facebook. And I remember thinking, yeah, we were taught that's what pussies do. You know what I mean?
He was sharing his treatments.
He would
take you into the
EMDR.
the magnetic.
Yep.
And it looks ridiculous, and I'm sure you got a little feedback about it, but it gave other people the stepping stone to try that. They're like, what is this? And then,
we were taught that it was weakness to express your emotions or to share your hard, difficult emotions. You're supposed to hide those. We were taught to hide those. And then when I saw him sharing it, I felt a little shame at first, like almost for him. And then over time, I started recognizing that the new courage, the new courageous move is to face the emotions and talk about the emotions and quit burying the emotions.
Yeah, there's a stigma where if you talk about the emotions that adversity causes, you're weak or you're having struggling with your mental health just because you're talking about it. And that's not true. The more you talk about it, the more someone that you don't even know is listening and learning. I mean, that's how we learn in this world, by looking at something somebody else does and then giving it a shot and then making it our own. So, when Mike passed away, there's no way that I could let that message die. So I started bringing Legend to the hikes, or allowing him to go to the hikes, and people started carrying him around, and that's where the message.
Tell me about Legend. To back up a little bit, talk about Legend.
Mike's unicorn.
Is he anywhere around you?
Yes, I don't know if you can see me in the picture. He's right behind me, next to Mike, the cutout of Mike.
There we go.
But we went to
the little crazy unicorn there.
Right after he passed away, I got invited to the Combat Outpost to be the presenter of the Be Like Mike Award, which is an award that you guys pass out to an LC or a person in leadership that is displaying Mike-like qualities, which would be healing out loud and mentoring and a lot of other things.
Yes.
So, and while I was there, we brought Legend, and I had the idea that Mike wanted to go to all the hikes. So I figured, why not try to get Legend to all the hikes? And that kind of took off. A few people jumped in to help me coordinate it. And he has been, I haven't even counted how many hikes he's been to. He's been to a lot. And this is his second season. So it's been really special. And the message is getting out there. And then they know who Mike is. And when they know who Mike is, they know how he healed. And I get people that walk up to me, I call them the never mets, and it's really important because they walk up and they say, I never met your brother, but he changed my life, or his message changed my life. So that's where the promise came from. And we did the first promise in St. Louis for the winter hike, and that was just going to be a story about Mike's story about, sort of a phoenix rising from the ashes sort of story, and we were trying to inspire a bunch of people. And then I brought the promise, and the reaction from the crowd was overwhelming for me, because I want to say 30 people walked up and gave me a hug and promised me. And then I did it again in Vincennes, and
in Indiana, in Indiana,
and I messed that one up. Like I'm not a public speaker.
You're not a public speaker.
I'm new to this, and I messed it up. And
I like it when people mess up. I like it when people mess up speeches, because it's like authentic.
It was,
and
validating.
It's not some canned bullshit,
It was validating for me, because the next day somebody walked up to me and said, hey, what you said yesterday really helped me. So in that moment, I was like, okay, I can really mess this up, and it's still reaching at least one person. So if I can go up there and fumble around for 10 minutes and save a life, hey, I'll be your gesture. So.
Yeah, nice.
So I do that. And then, so it's kind of taking off, like you said. So when I do the speech, I'm going to pass out these bracelets. I have one for Will. I already gave Justin one, so I'm going to give you this one. That's
we have to do the promise. I can't just earn it without the promise.
I thought you were there in St. Louis and already gave me the promise. There's a few people out there that I owe bracelets to, and you're one of them. And Will was right there too, so that's why he gets it too. But by all means,
let's do the promise.
Let's do the promise. Okay, so I'm going to start it off. I promise never to quit on you. I promise to live my life. I promise to love myself first. And I promise to always dance in the storms.
Nice. I don't know if I can remember all of that.
It's really easy. It's my brother's motto.
Yeah, but I don't know if I have to say it to you now.
You want me to say it so you can repeat it?
Yeah.
Justin, you want to join now?
Sure. Yeah. Go for it.
All right. I promise never to quit on you.
I promise never to quit on you.
Promise never to quit on you.
I promise to live my life.
I promise to live my life.
I promise to live my life.
Sorry. I promise to love myself first.
I promise to love myself first.
I promise to love myself first.
And I promise to always dance with the storms and face adversity with an open heart and an open mind.
I promise to always dance with the storms and face adversity with an open heart and an open mind.
Promise to dance in the storms and face adversity with an open heart and an open mind.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, now bracelet.
To me, it's
Bracelet me.
something that my brother said all the time, and it was
Yeah,
it didn't-
yeah, he said it all the time, and he posted it on Facebook all the time.
But the importance of it all didn't really land on me until you started listening to the actual parts of it. You know what I mean? To live your life, which means not just be alive, but to enjoy it too, to get out there and do
to
things.
find joy again.
Yes.
Some of us had to re-find joy. I was on these pharmaceuticals from the VA for so long that I forgot what joy felt like. And I was just really loved the idea that I didn't have panic attacks, because with the pills, it numbed the panic attacks. And so for years I was like, oh my gosh, I'm living without panic attacks. This is phenomenal. Then I started to recognize that I had lost joy. Like joy was not a part of my life. Like I literally, it works on both ends of the spectrum, right? You don't have super low emotions, but you don't have super high emotions either.
Yeah. It's really easy to just start sitting around.
Yeah.
Getting into your comfortable places. And if you're comfortable, in my opinion, if you're too comfortable, you're probably not living the way you should be.
Totally. So anyway, you were saying you live your life. That's
you
part
live your
of
life, and then you love yourself first, which means if you're not fully okay, you can't take care of someone else. So if you got to love yourself first. You got to take care of yourself first, and make sure that you're okay. And then
that also goes into love your neighbor as your friend, because you can only love your neighbor as much as you love yourself.
Correct.
Sorry, it's not love your neighbor. It's love your neighbor as yourself, right?
Right.
Which means you love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, if you're treating yourself horribly every day, right? If you're not taking care of your body, if you're not taking care of your mind, if you're not taking care of your soul, if you're just making bad decisions for yourself every day, then you're not loving yourself. Well, that's only as much as you could share with someone else. Right. And so for me, the love your neighbor as yourself, the key part that everyone misses is as yourself. You have to take care of yourself and love yourself unconditionally in order to love others.
And I think that when you reach that level, loving others is just a side effect. When you reach the point of truly loving yourself and who you are, and you're comfortable in who you are, sharing that love with other people is just going to happen.
Yeah.
Because, you're not upset.
Yeah.
Things happen to you and you shrug them off instead of getting super upset, and you start to pay attention to how you react and those sorts of things. And so, and then that moves on to the next step, which is dancing in the storms. When anything hits, just keep moving.
I was just texting with a hike leader before this show who has their big hike tomorrow. Yeah. And I was saying that regardless of what happens, laugh your way through it. Yeah. Because, when you have a hike and you've got 10 different stops and all these different vendors and all these different things that have to happen and come together at every stop, things are going to go wrong. And it's all about how you handle it. And so I say, just laugh and embrace the chaos, because we all know as military, no plan survives contact with the enemy. Why do we say that? Because everything goes to shit, right? And then you just have to be flexible, and you have to be nimble, and you have to keep your head on your shoulders. And so a lot of what I tell people is just like, let's just laugh our way through it, just like we did on active duty.
Right. What did I say when I came in here? This is my first podcast. I said, let's get the mistakes out of the way. I just expect that to happen. Is there anybody who's made it through life without something bad happening? I mean, when you dive into a project and you don't know what you're doing, do you expect to complete it perfectly? I'm sure it happens. I'm sure there's people out there that do that sort of thing. But if you go into it expecting mistakes, when the mistakes happen, you won't be as upset. So
it's all about that mental flexibility, which is the next part. That's the next part of what you were saying.
Yeah, the dancing in the storms.
The next part.
What's that? I'm confused.
Your promise has it.
Oh, the promise. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm failing to make the connection. I'm sorry. But yeah, the promise is. I mean, to me, it's a way for people to connect. It's a way to tell everybody else that you're going to be okay. And in one of these cases where it's proven to save a life, this person accepted the promise and it came through in a state where they weren't really present. Like someone else had to tell them that they promised and that they were talking about this promise, and when they were themselves again, I guess, if you will,
Sure.
they came to tell me that this happened, and I was really humbled by it. But
Yeah, I bet, man. I know that there was someone at our big leadership conference for IW a couple of months ago that it saved their life already.
yeah,
The promise.
It's I don't know how to explain it. It's a humbling thing to say, but for me, when these people say, "Hey, you saved this person," I feel like that person saved themselves by making the promise.
Yeah.
And that's the only way I can really look at it, because
I
I make the promise too. I'm promising you guys,
Yeah.
So
It's a big miracle, everything that's happening with this promise.
yeah.
Talk about all the hikes and upcoming events that you've been asked to go speak at, so that people can bump into you.
I will be at the Flow Trip, obviously, and then from here I'm going to Spokane. We'll be in Washington for that hike, and then I come
Great.
back and we're going right to Chicago, and then back down to St. Louis for the July 4th celebration, and then
Awesome.
from there, I'm trying to do Iowa,
Yep.
and then Milwaukee and Detroit, and then Memphis.
Awesome. And then
So
at
I'm
the end
gonna
of the
be
year?
super volunteer, because
Yeah. And at the end of the year?
and at the end of the year, Key West. Yep. That's last year at the end of the season, we released my brother's ashes at sunset on his birthday.
Yeah.
Which the Key West hike is on his birthday this year. So
Yeah.
I'd love to go there.
Awesome. Fantastic, man. Yeah, well, it's great having you a part of the community. It's great, having you at all these events. And dude, you're the man. And
Thank you.
I can't wait to be out on the water with you tomorrow.
Yeah, it's honestly my pleasure. It's a family that I inherited from my brother, and I get real excited. The first 5 or 6 times coming to these things, you're nervous. I'm nervous. I carry a weight. Some people are afraid to approach me, but it's starting to get to the point where we're relaxing and people are coming up and we're all letting loose. And so I'm really excited for the Flow Trip. I haven't been this excited about an IW event yet. So
Awesome. Yeah, man. It's going to be gorgeous weather, and the water's crystal clear. The fish are jumping out of the water. It's like an untouched part of the country, that part of the Ozarks.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. But without further ado, I want to get in with Justin from Grunt Style Foundation. I want to talk to you a little bit about what you have coming up. I know that the Lakota from the Pine Ridge Reservation have built a strong relationship with us through our different retreats we've been doing. And I know that some of the leadership there has invited veterans to come be a part of the Sundance. Tell us a little bit about the Sundance, the importance of it, just for those that know nothing about Indigenous culture. What is it really about? And then the importance of like having veterans be a part of it, and helping heal our country.
Yeah, I'm happy to share. Speaking of dancing in the storms, the Sundance is one of the 7 sacred ceremonies that the Lakota practice.
Okay.
And it is their pinnacle ceremony.
Okay.
It's not a thing that's open to the outsiders. So our invitation from Jalen, who runs this particular Sundance, this family of Sundance, is it's a really beautiful and intimate extension from him and his family for us to come and to bring Irreverent Warriors members out and other veterans to come and experience the healing power of this ceremony. It's in July. It's from July 20th to the 26th, roughly.
Awesome.
There's an open invitation for any IW members that want to come and participate. It's been open, so please just get in touch with Will through
info@irreverentwarriors.org. Or
Yep.
sorry, info@irreverentwarriors.com.
Yep.
info@irreverentwarriors.com.
Yeah, and also reaching out directly to Will. There's no cost to participate. It's just a get your ass out to South Dakota, and being in touch will allow us to kind of prep you on what the needs are and kind of what to expect. In this ceremony, they dance in the sun as a way of taking on the hardships and the burdens of their community as a way of kind of paying penance. So it's a pretty intense thing to witness. And like I said before, it's not something that's open to the public. It's very generous of them to open their doors and to invite us to come. It shows a lot of trust and relationship building that we've been doing with the foundation over the course of the last couple of years.
For that. Wow.
Yeah, and I think the Lakota guys were telling me last year that specifically they want the warrior class of the United States to come and heal with the warriors of the Lakota. So it's specific for the veteran community. You know?
Yeah. They cut down a sacred cottonwood tree, and that's the central axis mundi of their ceremony for the sun dance, where they dance around this tree. And the only people that are allowed to strike the first blow are blooded warriors. So there's a part of their cultural heritage that calls to the warrior class to participate and to heal through the dancing and the witnessing of the other activities that happen there. So we'll have our own camp within their camp, and I'm sure there'll be a lot of interesting experiences for people to come and to witness and to be a part of.
Great.
And that ties kind of directly into the integration event, the first of this year's series of Grunt Style Foundation integration events.
And I heard that the Grunt Style Foundation is extending scholarships to Irreverent Warriors folks that want to attend. You know.
Yep. Specifically, LCs to come and to see people that want to start doing these type of events in their local communities.
Oh, cool.
To have it be more accessible, to bring in different healing modalities, alternative healing modalities, experiential things for people to come and participate in.
You mean to heal mental health, we don't just need tons of pharmaceuticals for like 15 different conditions from the VA?
No, in most circumstances, no. In most circumstances, yep, we got some video rolling. This was a Lakota-led drum making workshop. There's some cold plunge. We got Matt Scally there. All these different healing modalities that help to contribute. They don't necessarily. There's not one thing that we can do most of the time that takes away the pain and the burden that we share and that we carry. But these things, these tools, they all come together and create a toolbox for us to rely on and to kind of take down. You know, maybe doing a cold plunge it takes the edge off 15%. That's sometimes enough to just get back to a clear mental space to make some better decisions from.
Yeah, for me, I had to learn that I don't need a Xanax. I actually need a cold plunge. Now, here's the equine therapy we're seeing now, right?
Yep. We've got a lot of different healing modality practitioners. Here's Jalen talking about the sweat lodge. The Lakota people will be out to share some of their wisdom and their practices with us at this integration event. They have a lot of experiential ceremonial offerings for us to participate in and get our feet wet. Another beautiful offering and a way of that we're in a reciprocal relationship with them, bringing folks out to their land and bringing them out to spread the word and share.
Yeah, there's so many modalities. I mean, I'm seeing right there acupuncture, that breath work one,
healing meat.
Yeah, I mean these Irreverent Warriors guys that do the barbecue out of Memphis. The Second Chance Smokers, they talk about how the preparation and the work that goes into their organic meat and the ingredients they use specifically is for them a healing modality.
Yeah.
It's my favorite healing modality.
Yeah, barbecue. Yeah, I mean, look at this. This is the singing bowls that they did in the evening. That was a fantastic ceremony.
They did a sound bath with cacao, which is
cacao. Yeah, and I didn't know that cacao had such powerful meditative effects. Mm-hmm. I mean, it took me. It was just drinking the cacao, which is basically chocolate
and water.
And then we went into that singing bowl session, and I was transported out of this planet. And I was not on anything else. And I was like, I had no idea that chocolate had that ability, to take you meditatively completely somewhere else. I was in a healing space, man.
Yeah, so, you're not going to get that with a Hershey Kiss, but
no.
certain ways of working with certain plants and
this stuff was from
settings.
The Amazon. I want to say this was like from the Amazon.
Mm-hmm.
I'd love to
real legit.
So that's coming up the weekend of September 18th down at the Quiver River campsite again,
Missouri.
in Missouri. And we have 2 other integration retreats that are coming up this year that are in the works. One in the Pacific Northwest and one down in Texas later in the year.
Fantastic.
So we'll let those dates roll out when they're all confirmed, and that'll give opportunities for more people to come. It's a lot to travel to come to these things, so we're trying to spread as much goodwill as possible, and that's hence the getting the LCs scholarshiped in, so they can kind of see what we're about, what we're doing, and kind of mimic that in a micro way. Even just doing one day, it doesn't have to be full weekend retreats, fleshed out with all kinds of stuff. It's kind of a build it as you go. Once the container is set up, and I'm available to help with anybody that wants to start doing stuff like that, gathering people together, demonstrating different ideas and modalities. And I'm a real big fan of the experiential stuff, not just the cerebral talk things. It's great to have conversations about Bufo and ayahuasca and all these things. We're not really in a legal place most of the time to be experientially advertising and offering those things, but you can do cold plunge anywhere. You can do breath work anywhere. The equine therapy, all these things are really approachable, experiential stuff, and that's really what I find helps to shift people's perception more than just being told information. It's like, how do you feel going before this? Try it. Do the cold plunge. How do you feel 15 minutes later? That's your barometer of like, is it effective for you?
Yeah. Actually experiencing it. I love that the Grunt Style Foundation is bringing this to Irreverent Warriors and helping us. It's helping the Irreverent Warriors community have different venues and different ways to engage with these healing modalities. And I love that Grunt Style Foundation is investing in spending time with the leadership within IW and with the frontline participants within IW to try to spread this healing to more places throughout the country. Because here we're in the very center of the country, which is great, but we'd love to see this type of holistic healing event on the East Coast, on the West Coast, in the South. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and leading by example is that's core tenets of everything that we're doing.
Totally.
And so that's why bringing in people that are already well into their own practice, they've got their own things that they're working on, and they maybe could use a little boost and encouragement to start sharing that more.
Yeah,
it's actually really contagious. I've been to a couple of events where cold plunge and those things are offered, and a lot of people who haven't done it before are talking about buying one by the time they leave. So it's really changing a lot of lives.
Yeah, we're actually seeing some folks in the IW community that are going to some of these breathwork sessions and then saying, oh my gosh, I had such an emotional release of this. I could never forgive this one person, and I thought throughout this breathwork ceremony about that, and I was able to completely let that go. And months later, they're like, that changed my life so much that I want to go get certified in this, or I want to go to more classes. And so we're starting to see within IW, folks have had such profound experiences that they're starting to dig in and starting to kind of shift their lives to say, hey, I want to help other people experience this. So it's really catching on.
Yeah, that's beautiful. It's beautiful when our own self-work bleeds out into wanting to serve others. It's a really noble cause to endeavor towards.
Absolutely, yeah, and it's all about empowerment. We believe in the IW community that you know the path to heal you. Sometimes it's not obvious, but if you keep putting one foot in front of another and experimenting, you'll find your path forward. And what we were taught was, just go and listen to these authority figures that are going to tell you how they're going to heal you. And it didn't work. Mental health wise, it just didn't work. So it's all about figuring out what helps heal your own mental health, and then going and following that and trusting your heart instead of always having to trust authority figures.
Exactly. That's our whole ethos with rolling these things out. We're not here to tell anybody what to do. We're here to offer opportunities to experiment and try things and figure out what does work for you. There are no silver bullets. There is no one size fits all protocol or program or pill. Everybody's different. Everybody's needs are different, and those things shift. Sometimes it's doing cold plunges every day for X amount of time. Sometimes it's laying off that for a while, doing something else, shifting gears, doing more nature therapy, whatever it looks like. There's so many ways to work with ourselves and our energy and our minds and our souls. And what we're trying to do as much as possible is just showcase that there are alternatives. There are other things that we can consider. And even if something takes off just 10 or 15% of the load, sometimes that's enough. It's getting from the straw that broke the camel's back level, the red line, and just bringing it down to, okay, I can breathe through this situation. I can make it through this day. It's going to be okay. We'll get through.
Yeah. No, I love that. I love that the way things are starting to come together. I mean, from the promise that Bill was talking about, to the Sundance, to the integration, to local leaders within IW starting to heal themselves and then kind of share that out loud on Facebook and heal out loud. And then, it's beautiful. All this, everything that the Grunt Style Foundation and Irreverent Warriors has kind of put together in this ecosystem has been phenomenal. So thank you for sharing that. And Bill, thank you so much for being vulnerable and sharing the story with your brother.
Absolutely.
And
thank you for having me.
Yeah. And we hope everybody out there, we hope you have a wonderful weekend. We hope that you go do something amazing outside, because as Justin was saying, nature is a pharmacy. Allow it to be one. So get outside, enjoy the weather. And we are going to be in crystal clear water with hopping fish and eagles soaring over our heads in a gorgeous place in the Ozarks at Big Rock Candy Mountain. And if you're on the East Coast, hit up the Maine hike in Portland, Maine. And that's going to be fantastic as well. The weather out there is going to be beautiful. So thank you all for joining us today. We will catch you next Friday, and peace out.